Okay, guys, welcome to our call tonight. Thank you guys so much for getting on. And happy, what is it, Wednesday? I'm losing track of my days. But I want to thank Amy for getting on this as well. This call was actually her idea, so I have to give credit where credit is due. Not that she cares, but I want to start out with a couple team announcements, first of all. We are about to kick off our 7-day experience on Monday. We'll actually do the first live on Sunday night, and the first day of drinking the 7-day challenge will be on Monday. So make sure you guys are talking to people about that and getting your trial participants into that challenge. Our next happy hour will be next Thursday, so definitely use that in the meantime as a tool for testimonies, and we've left all the posts from last time up there. So those should, definitely still be a great reference for you guys. We are moving forward at lightning speed with all of the updates from the back office. And I don't know if you guys saw the email, but there's going to be a system outage. I don't remember the exact times, but there's going to be a system outage tonight while they push forward some new updates. So I'm super excited about those. They are definitely moving those forward super well, and I really want to thank you guys. We got almost $400 for the customer service to provide them with lunch on Friday, which is huge because you guys, they've been working around the clock for us, handling hundreds of thousands of calls over just a couple day period. So I'm sorry, my dog's attacking me right now. I don't know why. So I want to thank you guys definitely for getting on. And welcome to the call. My name is Sarah Taylor. I'm your Diamond Upline. Amy Welch is Sapphire, probably a lot of your upline as well. And we're going to be kicking off this call tonight. So wanted to first explain, I won't be in this closet or storage area very much longer. Our house is nearing completion, and I will probably be back fully in a little after the new year. So yay. Hopefully you guys will start seeing some calls without weird backgrounds. But in the meantime, I want to kick off our call tonight with we have 5 different ways for you guys to get started, 5 steps to getting started in this business. But before we get to those 5 steps, I wanted to kind of open the call with a little talk about, why you guys are here, what your direction is in this business, why you guys are wanting to do this. A lot of times it can start off with a simple, you know what, I love the products, I want to get them at a discount, and that is the only reason I'm here. And then that can slowly morph into something a little bit more. Maybe you want to get your products paid for, and that's your first goal, and that's your why that you're doing this. That's why you hopped on the call tonight. Maybe you want to get some grocery money or some Christmas money, or just have a little bit of a slush fund. Maybe make a couple $100s a month. I can't talk tonight apparently. A couple $100s a month extra, or create some margin in your finances. Or maybe you guys are dreaming much bigger than that and you want to make this a second career. Maybe you've fallen in love with the products and you want to make sure that you can get out of that job you hate and that kind of thing. So wherever you're at in this business, we hope that this resonates with you tonight. And if you, I want you guys to get off this call tonight and kind of think about that, because whether your direction is small and wanting to just pay for your products, or whether your direction and your goals are huge, enormous, monster goals, there's a spot for everybody in this. And that's what I love about Plexus. The beauty of this is that you can work this at your own pace, your own with your own goals and your own desired outcomes. But I want to start this off by saying that your activity needs to match up with your goals. So if you have grand designs of, retiring your husband or retiring yourself and having this be generational income for you guys, make sure that you're putting that much effort into the business as well, because this isn't a lottery. So I just wanted to start out by saying that, and start out by having you guys just maybe think, when you get off the call tonight, what do you realistically want out of this? And it's okay to, more than likely what's going to happen if you're just starting out is it's going to slowly evolve, and you're going to slowly see, bigger and bigger opportunities with this. But the beauty of Plexus is that we have married an incredible comp plan with incredible products. And when those two things come together, it makes it so, so easy. And it makes this opportunity such an amazing one, unlike any other network marketing company. So I want to encourage you guys that you guys are in the right place, the right time, and we're ready to partner with you guys and lock arms and move forward. So I'm going to hand it over to Amy. She's going to get started with our first step in the 5 steps that we want to talk to you guys about tonight.
Thanks, Sarah. Hey guys, I'm Amy. So the very, very, very first step in working your business, and this is whether you're brand new or if you have been doing this now for, goodness, almost 3 years like me, it's share Plexus with your inner circle. And you might be thinking, well, okay, I already did that, or I don't want to share yet. I don't want people to know. But here's why you need to share with them. And your inner circle, that's the people you do life with, right? Those are your really close family, your close friends, maybe even coworkers, people that you see all of the time. You know, the person that you call when you have a bad day, or the person you call when you're trying something new. You want to share with these people for a couple of reasons. One is they are eventually going to hear about Plexus, and I've seen it happen time and time again. Somebody joins Plexus and they're like, I'm not going to tell anybody until I lose 25 pounds, right? Which we know could take months. And in the meantime, they're doing it secretly, but their sister sees their friend posting about Plexus, and that person's sister joined someone else's team because they wanted to keep it a secret. And the other reason you want to share with these people, guys, is because they are most likely the ones that are going to jump on with you quickly. Now, granted, sometimes family is like the absolute worst and they will never try Plexus, but if they're the ones that you do life with and they support you no matter what, they're going to want to do this with you. If you have something that is going to get you off caffeine and make you feel better, why wouldn't your inner circle and your bestie want to do that with you too, right? So share with your inner circle. But here's the thing. You want to keep sharing, okay? So even if they don't jump on board right away, you still want to keep sharing, because throughout this whole talk tonight, the one thing that Sarah says a lot is, you know, from your team and your potentials, they're going to get their belief and their energy from you. You're going to inspire them. So if you only share with them once and then they say no and you quit sharing, they're never going to jump on board with you. But then also, if you're someone who's been doing this a while, you have to keep expanding your inner circle. And we'll talk about that a little bit later with some key tips, but you always, always want to be adding people into that inner circle that then you are sharing Plexus with. I know for me, you know, I had a small little inner circle. Several of them jumped on board. Several of them I was like, you're doing this, you don't have a choice kind of inner circle. But then I slowly have been expanding that inner circle and have been sharing Plexus with them. So that is the very first step, is don't be afraid to share and say, hey, I'm doing this. I want you to try it with me.
Absolutely. And I think that that is absolutely the best place to start, because you want to get your people to do this with you. It's exciting. It's fun. You get accountability partners, and you guys, timing is everything. So they may or may not jump right on board with you, but over the course of time, the more you talk about it and the more excited and the more that they see you, that you're going to be the person that they come to when they're ready to go for it. So it's so, so important. The number 2 thing, of course, is we have this amazing, amazing opportunity in front of us to reach so many people through the use of social media. Social media was not around, obviously, when network marketing first began years and years and years ago. It's the oldest known business model. And they didn't have social media when they first started using, or when, you know, network marketers were first around. We have the opportunity to use social media and to get the word out. And we're in a kind of a, I guess, landscape or environment where oversharing and use of social media has really evolved. And we want to take advantage of that. And we want to use that. However, we want to keep our social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is, we want to keep those social media platforms about us. So we want to always make it personal. We want to share and give a peek into our lives. And guess what? That peek into our lives may have our kids involved in it, our dogs. I post a lot about my new dog because that's what's going on in my life. You know, whatever's happening in your life, you want to post about it. But guess what? Plexus is happening in your life too. So there's no shame in using your social media platforms as somewhat of a journal. You want to keep it authentic, keep it close to you, close to your personality, and close to who you are, and close to your quote unquote brand. But using it as a journal and just sharing, what's happening. Hey, you know what? I started this. We have a lot of great, first posts. If you haven't made your first post, that we can post again on Team Taylor tonight, and Amy can post on her team page. But beyond that, those first couple posts that you guys can use and jump off from, you want to kind of journal your experience with Plexus, and you want to draw people in, and you want to just kind of share like you would anything else. Network marketing, I always talk about, is kind of like sharing your favorite restaurant. If you go and you have some great queso at the new Mexican restaurant down the block from you, you're going to share about it. You're going to talk about it. This is no different. And we're really, coming into a time and a place where sharing about these types of things has become very, very normal. And we don't want to be salespeople on Facebook and Instagram, that kind of thing. We don't want to spam our audience, but we want to draw them in, and we want to invite them in on our journey and show them, educate them what Plexus is all about, what could happen to them if they, joined you. We want to make this show all the fun parts about it, the excitement, the energy, what you love about what you're experiencing, and we want to let them in on that, because that gets them imagining exactly what they could achieve with Plexus as well. So I'll turn it back over to Amy for tip number 3, or step number 3.
Yes. So then, and you're right, Sarah, with social media, I actually built my business on social media. Now, that doesn't mean I don't talk to people in person, but the power, that just shows you the power of social media. If you are strategic, in fact, I'm going back through my old notebook, and, somebody told me not to think of Plexus as some separate post you have to make all the time, but you are just incorporating Plexus into your daily life, and you're just sharing that. And when I did that and just made it part of our life, it really took off. So there is power in social media if you're using it the right way, and you realize that now your personal page is also your business page. So it's going to be a reflection, and what you post is going to make people want to ask you about Plexus. And when they ask you about Plexus, you want to put them on your list. So step number 3 is making your list. And since it's Christmas time, we're going to check it twice. See, isn't that cute? You're going to check it 3 times. You're going to check it 4 times. You are going to make a list. Now listen, I have multiple lists. One thing that has worked for me is I have to have a master list. And if you think that your master list can be in a notebook, that's a bad idea, because 6 months in, a year in, you're going to forget people. Maybe you're going to lose that notebook. You really want to have a master list that's in Excel or that's on the computer, and you just kind of throw everyone's name in, okay? Everyone that you have ever talked to about Plexus, anyone that you think would be interested about Plexus. And that doesn't mean you're going to reach out to all of them in one day, but you have to have some sort of record, because too many times, guys, I've talked to like a flight attendant on a plane, and I've gotten her information, and I didn't put her on my master list, and I thought, oh, I'll remember. Or I send someone a message on Facebook, and I think I'll remember them, and then it gets buried and gone forever, and I forget about them. I actually had somebody on the team join me recently as a wholesaler who reached out to me and said, hey, were you ever going to follow up? It's been like 6 months. I had completely forgotten about her. I did not put her on my master list. So create your master list. When I first started Plexus, you may have heard the story that I did not want to go to this opportunity meeting. Sarah drugged me to it. Like, I tried to get out of it. But that night, because I heard corporate and I caught the vision from those other ambassadors that were speaking, I drew my line in the sand. And the next day I decided, I don't know how to do this business. I've never done network marketing, but I'm going to look at all the files on the team page, and I'm going to do whatever they say. And the number 3 thing is make your list. So I took Eric Worre's memory jogger, and they literally say, just think of anyone and everyone and write their name down. And that's what I did. Anyone I went to school with, anyone I was Facebook friends with, anybody I worked with, anybody I had ever met, even people I didn't know their name, like the UPS guy or the postman. I wrote it down. And just that exercise of kind of vomiting all of these names on that paper got me thinking about, okay, this person I think would really be interested. This person I think I could reach out to today. And then it even made me think of other people that I would not have thought of had I not put all of these names down. But then what works for me, guys, is I have my master list, but then I work from then a monthly list and almost a weekly list. And I'll show you my most recent one. This is my monthly list of all of my potentials that I've been working on for November and December. And I have next to their name, like this person has Hashimoto's. And I emailed her info and I called her. And then this person wants slim because she's got some blood sugar issues. So I emailed her and then I called her. And this person is interested in the kids vitamin. And this person I added to the holiday event last month. So that way I'm not looking at hundreds and hundreds of names. I'm going through that master list and then I'm pulling out those people that either are ready to try Plexus or are engaged with me for me to send them more info. And then I work that list every month. And then at the end of the month, I'll go back to my master list and I'll either pull people off or, always be adding people every day to that list. So that's kind of how I work with my list.
Yeah, and I love this list too, because I will tell you guys what, I did not make one in the beginning, and I let so many people fall through the cracks because when I first started, everybody was contacting me and reaching out to me, and so I wasn't needing to necessarily work my list because my network just happened to be ready. Not everybody's network is ready when you first start. You have to sometimes prime your network and work it. But I let so many people fall through the cracks because I wasn't organized. And I will tell you that's one of the biggest regrets I have. So actually putting pen to paper or making, what I love is having a list in my phone, in my notes section, or on your computer, just somewhere, like she said, because if you do it just in a notebook, I've lost lots of notebooks. So having it where you can access it later on and, access it a whole bunch is just a really, really good practice. And this list is a snapshot of your network. This is not I'm going to go cold call all these people right now. This is simply a snapshot of your network that kind of shows you where you're at, what you need to do, who can jump on board with you right away, who you need to maybe build a little bit better relationship with or start, connecting with again, that sort of thing. So just definitely do that exercise and sit down and go Google Frank's list, like the name Frank, Frank's list, and that'll give you a really good parameter of how to get this started. So I'm going to go on to the next one because at the beginning of this call, we talked about my number 4 thing, which is hosting events, hosting launch events, or using our events that we're putting forward on the team pages. One of the things I love the most about launch events is they're small. They are focused on you, on your network, and you and your upline can actually host a launch event. We have a template in the file section of Team Taylor, and it's a great plug and play template that all you have to do is use those posts, tweak them to your liking, but it is a great format for just hosting a launch event with your friends. The key here with these launch events is personal invitations. You don't want to be that person that creates this Facebook event or group page, what have you, and adds all of your friends list to it and doesn't message any single one of them personally, because that's the quickest way to get deleted, blocked, removed from remove themselves from that group and to annoy all of your friends. You want to send them a message and say, hey, I'm going to host this event. I got this really exciting new product that I've been loving. This is what it's doing for me, or this is what it's done for my upline. Would you love to check it out? Because I know you could use some energy, or I know you could use blah, blah, blah. Make it personal. And I love using the voicemail feature on your phone too. But get them in those launch events, and then the key after the launch event is to follow up. It's a very personal, small event where you can get lots of engagement with your people, with your network. Now beyond that, and you can even do relaunch events, especially at the first of the year or around this time. After the first of the year, people are in resolution season. So if you are a seasoned ambassador, really consider hosting a small event for yourself, whether it's in person, online. Regardless, the in-person events for me were always my bread and butter. That is what worked so, so well for me, because I know if I can get in front of somebody, they see my passion, they see my conviction, and they hear my tone, and they know how excited I am about these products. Online is a great avenue to reach all the people that you don't see on a daily basis, or that live across the country from you, that type of thing. So The other thing is using our team events that we have. I can speak directly to the team events I have every single month. These are larger events that help to kind of build belief and get people off the fence and give them third-party validation. I wouldn't use these solely as your only means of event. I really love the smaller events that you host yourself, because those are the most effective, because they know you. They don't know me. They don't know Amy. They don't know the people hosting our events. Those are great for third-party validation, and absolutely a great way to build that belief and see that, hey, other people other than my friend Amanda are doing this, you know. And so we have every other week in our health and happy hour, it's pinned to the top of Team Taylor, we have a event on Thursdays. And what that event does is it's got 3 live testimonies every single week, or every other week, excuse me, and it also has a lot of great product education and that sort of thing. You can always go back and look at those testimonies and use them as a testimony resource as well. So if you meet someone, for instance, Amy has thyroid disorder. If you meet somebody and they're talking about their thyroid issues and that kind of thing, all you do is be like, you know what, would you like to see a testimony by one of my friends? She's on my team. And they say yes. You add them to that health and happy hour and you tag them in Amy's testimony so they can watch a video of a live person talking about their issue with thyroid or what have you. So it's a great resource for that. Also, once a month, we host a 7-day challenge, 7-day experience. You guys, I love that, that event and the way that we use that event. So what I like to do is my goal every single month is to get 6 people in that event. What I find is that people maybe who are on the fence, who are hesitant to give Plexus a try, hesitant to give it a shot, they will take a 7-day trial. And if you can get that product in their hands and trying it in this group, walking through every single day and having fun with it, seeing the team environment, the camaraderie, learning about the products, and physically tasting it, they fall in love with all things Plexus. And so it really, really works for helping them get off that fence, get everything ordered, and get started on Plexus. And it answers a lot of their questions and hesitations and really breaks down that fear barrier that we all had when we were first starting Plexus. You know, what are these products all about? What is this? Is this a pyramid scheme? All those kinds of things. All of that, all those fears that they have that are valid are laid to rest during that 7-day challenge. So what I also like to do is when I sign up a brand new business builder, somebody who has told me, you know, straight off the bat that they're ready to give this business a shot, I have them buy 6 7-day trials that sign up along with their welcome pack. And that way they can get plugged into that 7-day trial group and get started right away sharing Plexus. And it's a really, really easy way to get started. So if you're brand new and we've got that on Monday, you can even make your own 7-day trials. You know, you don't have to purchase just a 7-day trial, but definitely, you know, try and use that as a tool. It's also pinned to the top of Team Taylor if you want access to it. So it's absolutely a wonderful event to use. But events, I drug Amy to one, and events build belief.
Yeah, and that is, you know, the reason I'm here. She literally did. I did not want to go. I gave her every excuse. But, you know, those that show up, go up. It sounds totally hokey, but it's true. When you are showing up to events, it does something more than just being at an event. It builds your belief. It builds your confidence. It builds your positive attitude. And then that gets more people attracted to you, you know. And for me, like when I first started Plexus, you guys, Sarah Taylor, you guys are probably going to be shocked, but she was a complete stranger. I did not know her. We were not friends. I didn't know any of these crazy Plexus people, and I still thought they were crazy. But I went anyway because my why was bigger, and I was determined that I was going to be successful at this. And when they said, be on the calls and go to things, I did. In fact, I'm in my notebook right here, Sarah, my first notebook. And on March 4th of 2015, you and Jamie hosted a call. Now, guys, back then, sounds like it's decades ago. Back then, we didn't have Zoom. It literally was you called in this 1-800 number, and it was a conference line. And these are the notes from that first call. And then the next one is the notes from our very first opportunity event that I went to here in Houston, not the corporate one. So you guys, you definitely want to go. It just will build your business. In fact, I tell people, that other than just me sharing the products, going to those events was the number one thing for my business, that when it just took off. And for all these online ones, we have Facebook now, like Sarah said, you don't have to know anything to host something. We have all of the stuff already for you. We have templates, we have posts, we have graphics. You just have to do it. Okay. So once you do these events, once you have some people interested, the number 5 tip tonight that I think is one of the most effective yet most underutilized tools is 3-way chats. And I can tell you that 3-way chats is how I got to gold. People underestimate them. Many of you probably think you don't need them, that you can do it yourself. Many people assume that your potential won't want to do them. So you don't use those 3-way chats. They are huge for a few reasons. One, third-party validation. How many times have you told your spouse or your sister something, and you've told them over and over and over, and they don't listen, and then all of a sudden they come home and they tell you that, so-and-so from work told them to do this, and they do it. And you're like, I've been telling you that for 6 months, right? It's that third-party validation from somebody else. The other thing about 3-way chats, you guys, this is how, if you're new, it's how I learned to answer questions about Plexus. It's how I learned to talk to people about Plexus. It's how I learned to turn somebody's negativity around into a positive. When somebody comes and they're very skeptical, it's how I learned to turn the conversation around to validate their concerns, but then also assume the sale and close the deal. And I learned that because I pulled Sarah Taylor, my upline, into every conversation I had with those potentials up until gold. And here's why I did it, because I didn't know anything about Plexus. I didn't know anything about network marketing. She was a Ruby at the time. So I'm like, well, she knows what she's doing. And she said, add me to a chat. And I did. And so here's how you guys can do them. They're very easy to do. You do not want to overthink them. If you've been talking to somebody about Plexus, let's say somebody says, hey, okay, tell me about that pink drink. I would reply back and be like, oh my gosh, the pink drink is amazing. You're going to love it. I've been drinking it for 2 weeks and I don't need my coffee or naps anymore. But listen, that's pretty much all I know. My friend Sarah knows so much more about these products. I'm going to add her to this chat so I can make sure I answer the right question, or I give you the right answers. And then you just add her to the chat. And you use your upline. You never call them your upline. You never call them your sponsor, because that sounds salesy and nobody knows what that means. You just say, my friend knows more about this than I do. I'm adding her to the chat. And then when you give your upline a heads up that, hey, I'm adding you to a 3-way chat, they're going to know exactly what to do in that chat to get that person to join or to order. And so 3-way chats are a huge, huge tool. And guys, you don't have to be brand new to use them. Even now, there are people that I would put in a 3-way chat because I think they just need that third-party validation, okay? So use them. Do not be afraid to use them. They are huge. And I would say 90% of the 3-way chats I'm in, we close the deal. And I know that sounds very salesy, but 90% of the ones I'm in, those people either end up joining or ordering and trying Plexus. It's just a huge, huge tool. You can also, if there is, one thing you can do that's not as effective, but if you're in a spot where you can't engage a 3-way chat, you can take a screenshot. I did this a couple of times where I took a screenshot of a conversation and I said, okay, Sarah, what would you say next? And then I literally just copy and pasted what she told me to say. So guys, I know a lot of people come into this and you think, I can do this. I don't need any help. And I understand that and I like that, like, go get 'em attitude. But using those 3-way chats doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. And it doesn't mean that, you are failing or you need help because you're not able to do it yourself. It's just a great, great tool to learn and grow your business. So definitely use it.
Can I say something there, Amy?
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that I see is that when I'm added to a 3-way chat, or when I add somebody else to a 3-way chat, say when I first got started, my mom is somebody that I had a hard time closing and getting started on these products. But you guys, she knew my limited knowledge of Plexus. She knew I was no expert in all things Plexus because I was just getting started. But when you add somebody in and say, hey, my friend Sarah has been doing this for 4 years, or Amy's been doing this for 3 years, she knows what she's talking about, and she's like expert. You don't even have to say how long they've been doing it, but she's an expert and she knows a heck of a lot more about this than I do. They automatically, you've just given this person you're adding to the chat so much credibility, and they have a preconceived notion about this person that you've added that they are an expert in health and happiness in Plexus. So I think that's a big part of this third-party validation. It's just giving a second opinion and a second, just voice and way of saying things to this person that does know you and maybe is wondering, well, what does she know about health,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Well, definitely, guys, use them. I mean, I am not exaggerating when I say it got me to gold. And I don't know if any of my first 20 ambassadors that joined my team are on this call tonight, but I know Michelle Collins remembers. She was one of my first. She remembers being in a three-way chat with Sarah. And I just was like, hey, guys, I don't know. So my friend Sarah knows. I'm going to add her in here. But we have to be careful. We don't want to project. Just like when you're talking to people about Plexus, you don't want to project and assume they're not going to want it, or they're already healthy, or they can't afford it. You also don't want to project and assume that they're not going to want a three-way chat. That's why I think most people don't do them, because they're like, well, I asked the person and they said no. Well, yeah, I would have said no too. If Sarah Taylor had come to me and said, hey, can I put you in a three-way message with my upline? I'd been like, no way, right? So it's all in how you set it up and how you message them and put that
and
in.
You show them the benefit for them, that it's going to benefit and help them answer their questions and help them get the right products for their experience.
Now, I will say you don't want to do it before you have a little bit of back and forth about Plexus. You don't want to just reach out to somebody and say, hey, do you think you might be interested in Plexus? Oh, okay, I'm going to add you to this message. I've done a couple people have added me to a three-way, like the first time they talk to somebody, and they've never mentioned Plexus to the person, and those are not effective. Those are a little awkward. So definitely make sure you at least have engaged with the person a little bit. So those are our 5 tips.
Yes. So share with your inner circle, post to social media, make a list, that Frank's list, host events and attend our events, three-way chats. And then Amy was going to talk a little bit about, staying in activity and some ideas for your activity before I close it out tonight.
Yeah. So, what is activity? You guys hear us say that a lot, that you don't have to, work this as a full-time job, but you can't work it only some of the time. You have to be in activity every single day. And what does that mean? What does that look like? And for me, up until I was senior Ruby, I was a full-time person working over 40 hours a week. So I understand what that is. A lot of people are like, well, Amy, you can be in activity every day because you don't work and you don't have all these stresses now because you're home all day. Listen, guys, I worked all the time. And so I did activity and I made the time for it, like 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, 15 minutes here. And especially right now in December, this is the time where it slows down. People are hoarding their money for Christmas presents. Maybe they've already checked out about healthy eating and they're like, forget it, I'm not going to be healthy until January. So you may not have a lot of people in these next couple of weeks joining your team or ordering as customers, but you cannot stop the activity. Now more than ever, you really need to stay in that daily activity. And what does that look like? It is reaching out to people from your list about Plexus, following up with people that you've already talked to about Plexus. It's also just making new friends, right? Adding people to Facebook, adding maybe you met some new moms or you met somebody at the grocery store, add them on Facebook. You don't have to force Plexus. That is an activity that has really helped me grow my potential list. And in October I signed 6 new people, and all of those people were just new friends that I'd made, and I didn't try to force Plexus. I just focused on the relationship. And to me, that is daily activity. Engaging in groups. If you're in groups on Facebook, not Plexus groups, like I'm in a Jamaica group, Schedule time. Okay, for 30 minutes, I'm going to be really active in that group. That's how you get new friends too. But also, guys, visible activity on the team pages. I don't think people understand how important this is for not only yourself, but also your wholesalers, and developing your wholesalers into runners. And here's why. Like Sarah said about events, you add a wholesaler to our team page, which is awesome. You welcome them. We say welcome, right? And either in Sarah's page or my page, we post great things. But your wholesaler does not know who I am. You tell them I'm the upline and you tell them I'm going to post stuff, but they don't know me, right? So if they're not seeing your name on that team page, they're not seeing your commenting, they're not seeing you posting, they don't see you answering questions when somebody asks about troubleshooting, then they are going to be less engaged in that page. So your visible activity will actually keep your wholesalers on the products longer and prevent them from dropping off when they are more engaged. The other thing is, that's how you get your runners, guys. I've had so many people who were pure wholesalers, and once they saw the activity of me commenting and posting and answering questions and being on the calls, they decided to be a runner and work the business, because they're like, I see you engaging. You guys are having fun. I see the back and forth on the team pages. So you definitely want to stay active on the team page. And what I had to do, I get it, guys. I get probably 1,000 notifications a day on Facebook at least. And Sarah probably gets 10,000 notifications, right? You have to schedule your time. So I would schedule like, okay, for 30 minutes. And back then it was the dream team. Sarah and Jamie ran their page together. And I would schedule 30 minutes and I would go into that team page and I'd be like, okay, are there questions I can answer? Can I tag any of my ambassadors in a contest or in a post? And really make an effort to have visible activity on that team page and schedule your time. And then the other thing you can do, a lot of people like to follow kind of what's called the number system, a 5-3-3-1, a 5-3-1, and it breaks down in many different ways. I encourage all of you to go back and watch day 5 of Diamonds, because Sarah did an awesome video about this. But a couple of ways you can break it out to just organize your day. Every single day you can do 5 reach outs to new people. You can do 3 check-ins with a customer or an ambassador, because it's really important, guys. We don't just want people to order and then we leave them high and dry. Follow up with your people are really important. 1 personal growth, so watch a video, and then 1 coaching session. So that means if you have someone on your team who maybe wants to get to silver, you can have a coaching session with them, or have a coaching session with your upline. The other 5-3-3-1 that some people do, 5 new friends a day, check in with 3 current ambassadors, check in with 3 current customers, and then pour into 1 business builder. So whatever that looks like, you just have to make sure you're doing something every day. And as much fun as it is, scrolling Facebook and chatting in our message threads is not activity that's going to move your business forward. And when times are slow like this, it's very easy to get discouraged. But like I told my team earlier this week, every year that I've been in Plexus, so this is my 3rd holiday season, the past 2, we have exploded around New Year's Eve. It's like people have Christmas money burning in their pocket and they're ready to start it, so they are ready come January 1 for that new healthy mindset. If you've not been doing the activity leading up to that, you are not going to reap the benefits when all those people are ready to join Plexus. So the holidays are a perfect time to even do more activity. I love it because you can give a gift to anybody and it not be weird, right? I can give my UPS guy a gift of 1 stick of Slim and a packet of P96 and a cute little note and a little pamphlet, and it's not weird. Like it's if I do it on like a Tuesday, right? So think about ways you can increase your activity during the holidays. I love to give Plexus gifts to my hairdresser, kids teachers, UPS guy, FedEx guy, postman. I have all of these little things put together. And at the holidays, you're going to be around a lot more people. So be an activity. Try not to use Instacart as often like I do, but actually make yourself go into the store. I carry those Plexus e-samples and a little printable with my information on it, and I give it to people who are cashiers. So many times when I engage in them in conversation, it ends up coming up that they've been standing there for 9 hours and their feet hurt. And that happened my first season. And I thought, boy, I wish I had samples of ease that I could give them. So do things like that. Engage these people in these daily activities. Do not be afraid to talk to people, because I know it's the holidays, we're rushed. You want to put your head down and walk into a store and walk out. But if you lift your head up and you actually look around and engage these people and talk to them, and it's super simple. You could just say, how's your day, right? Or when do you get off work? How long you been working? I bet you can't wait until quitting time. Or I always ask people, like, is it always this busy? And that just opens up conversations, guys. And so that is a great way to keep an activity too. And when you're in activity, you're less likely to get discouraged. Just do something small every single day.
Absolutely. And I'm going to close this out by talking about one of my favorite things. And, Amy mentioned follow-up, and in that, 531 IPA, income producing activity daily plan. So at the end of the day, we're not selling things to people. We are partnering with people to help them have a better life. So we have products that are completely life-changing. We have seen that over and over and over again. If you don't understand that, definitely go into the Health and Happy Hour and watch a couple of those videos. They'll bring you to tears. Those testimonies are powerful, and you can see just how much it has changed these people's lives. So when you're getting somebody started on these products, you are partnering with them for a better future. You're partnering with them for a better life. And if you're partnering with somebody also from a business sense, you guys, more people go to bed stressed about money than anything else. And so when you're partnering with them to have a better financial outlook, or, just a better life financially for their kids and just less stress from that perspective, we're not just selling things to people. We are becoming a part of their life. And so that follow-up is so important. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so working that in and just checking on your customers, checking on your ambassadors, of course, following up with potential and prospective customers and ambassadors, but you guys keep providing customer service and care and quality, consistent follow-up with your people, and really getting to know them and helping them have their results met with Plexus. That's going to build you a legacy business more than anything else. You are building a family. One of the things I love the most about Plexus is the friendships I've created with the people that I'm helping. We're all in this together. We all have the same goals. We all at least came here because we want to feel better. That's the bottom line, right? And so if you're helping people and you're impacting people on a daily basis, at the end of the day, you're going to feel really good about yourself. It gives you a lot, like, I've never had a job before that I felt as good about as I do with Plexus. I mean, every single day, I'm at least helping somebody either become a better version of themselves, feel better, have more energy, become a better mom, or I'm helping somebody with their financial picture. So that's what this is all about. And you guys have really joined a company that takes health and happiness to the next level and really makes it a big part of, that's what we stand for. That's what we're all about. So at the end of the day, that's what this is. And I really want you guys to always keep that front and center, that you are not selling people. You're not having people join your team for, a money perspective. You are partnering with people. That's the key word. So I want to thank you guys for hopping on the call tonight, and we really, really appreciate every single one of you. We'll let you go because we went a little bit over, but those are our 5 tips for getting started. Share with your inner circle, post to social media, make your lists, attend events, and utilize your upline for 3-way chats. All right, you guys, good night.
Bye, guys. Bye.